Hi, so in my last video I mentioned that I made invitations for my friend's birthday party that's coming up here on the 25th. And I wanted to show you because I didn't really finish them all. I still have like two that I needed to make, but I'm extremely lazy and I was like, oh, I can make those two later, which I put off. And so I can show you how I make my invitations, because I'm actually going to be making all my invitations for my wedding because me and my boyfriend are engaged. We've been getting engaged for quite some time. We've been dating since 2007. Anyways, it's a really long story, and we're not getting married for a long time. But anyways, this is how I'm going to make my wedding invitations, and this is how I make birthday invitations too, for whenever my friends ask, because they love the way I make it, and I always buy really pretty paper. Anyways, in my last video, you could not see how sparkly the paper is, so I'm going to display a little picture. And this is it. Look at it, it's so sparkly. Let me turn the light on. Oh yes, so sparkly. Let me shut that light off, it's really great. Okay. And then I have the pink sheet right here, and it is hot pink. But when you put the Valium, which is kind of see-through, you put the Valium underneath it, it's kind of light pink, but then not, but then yes, but then not. So what you need is 3 sheets of paper. You can do it with 2 if you don't want the Valium on the top. I like some 3D and a black marker for when you actually write on the stuff. Seeing as it's a small invitations, I got a black marker with a fine tip pen. And my hole puncher. So what I do is I center them together on the paper, and then I take the Valium, and the Valium you can actually, you don't have to make it the same size as the pink paper. You can make it a little bit bigger, a little tiny bit bigger than the pink, which is what I did, or you can make it a little bit smaller than the pink paper, because it doesn't really matter, you know, so you have some depth, so people will be like, oh, there's something to lift up there. So anyways, I center them all. So it looks like that, and I guess this one's kind of crappy because of those sides are too close together, but anyways, it doesn't matter. So it's all centered, and then I'm going to take the hole punch, and I'm going to decide where on it I'm going to punch. I like to have them a little bit spaced apart, maybe equally from each other, like thirds kind of, cutting the paper in half. And I actually get really close to the pink, because it doesn't really matter. No one's going to be tugging on the pink, and it's just an invitation. So I get really close to the pink so I have enough space to write on it, instead of like going all the way over here and punching it, because then that's just wasting space. And it doesn't give you enough room to write anything down. And she has a lot of information on her invitations. And then I punch it, and then I try to do it equally on both sides, and you don't have to be so extremely perfect. It doesn't really matter. I'm a neat freak, and I have a little bit of OCD. Actually, I'm not a neat freak. Don't look at my room. Anyways, so I punched them, and try and hold them together, the pieces, because, I mean, it doesn't really matter if they fall apart, because the string that we're going to be using will, it will work. It'll work them back together, and then it won't be such a big deal. So I'm going to cut about, actually I don't know exactly how big my piece of string is, I just kind of guess. So it's probably a foot long, maybe a little bit longer. Depending on how wide apart the hole punch is, then you're going to want to make your string a little bit longer, because you're going to tie it. And I like to do double knot twice. I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to string it through like this, and I'm going to hold it because it's going to fall back out if I don't hold it on this side. So, and then I'm going to string it through again, but try and keep it straight on the back, because if it's twisted then it'll just add bulk. Oh, see, I didn't hold it so it fell. There we go. And then I'm going to pull them through like that, and see how it's nice and even on the back? Yeah, nice and even. And then I'm going to pull them straight, and I'm just going to tie it like a regular tie. And if you have to use something to hold it down, like one of your friends' fingers or a paper clip or something, then you can do that, and that's what I do. So I'm just going to tie it once, and then I'm going to double knot it just by tying it again, so it's like that. All I did was I just did a single, like one through, and then I did another one so it's nice and it'll stay. Because you don't really want people unraveling when it comes out of the envelope. That's kind of annoying. And then I'm going to do a bow, and I usually like to put the two pieces, see how the strings are both on the same side. I don't like going like this. Oops, I can't really see. Going like this and then wrapping around with one, you know, kind of like that, because then, I don't know why, but I'm just a little OCD. So then they both kind of, sometimes they show up on the same side. So I'm going to make them a little bigger. You know how to, you know, make a bow and everything. It's kind of kindergarten. And then I just tie them, just like a regular bow. And I want them just a little bit bigger than what I want the bows to be, because I'm going to double knot them. And when I double knot them, I actually take these two, because they're on the wrong side, these two, and I pull them down and I hold them there with a paper clip or like a... Well, okay, so my camera stopped because I didn't have any more memory in it. Oops, these went over my limit. Anyways, so when I'm making the bow, I hold these two down, and then I just double knot it like usual while holding them down, because when they're being held down, then they're more likely to be on the same side instead of one being over here and one being over here, you know, one up, one down. And then I'm just going to double knot it. And whichever bow, like whichever side of the bow is bigger, I usually use that one to wrap it around, because I'm OCD. And then it'll even them out. Yep. And then I usually put my fingers in them like this to make the bow pucker a little bit better. And then I pull it tight, so then when I'm done, see how it puckers out instead of pinching it. If I pinched it and pulled, then it wouldn't be cute and bubbly and sticking up. And then there you go. And then if you want, you can cut the ends and you can make them cute and however you want. And that's pretty much it. And there you go. There is the final product. You've got the vellum, and then the writing, and then the pretty black paper that, I mean, if the invitations were bigger, I would probably use the black paper and make it a little bit thicker. Like, so everybody would be like, wow, look at that black paper. Anyways, I'm rambling, which I usually do. And that's how you do it. Any questions? And I actually would like to start an invitation business, because I love making invitations for people. Oh my god, all my friends are like, yes, I want them. And I love doing arts and crafts. I'm a loser and I'm still rambling. Okay, I will see you guys later. Bye. My friend's birthday party.